Today on the Trent Out Loud podcast. Just remember and keep in mind that this is a civil suit, not a criminal suit. Tony Busby, you draw whatever conclusion you want. Is he a scumbucket just looking for money, or is he a hero? Pay me a couple of $1 million. I won't say anything to the public. What up? It's your boy, Trent Out Loud, and I'm back with another episode. All right, it's Thursday morning, my second favorite day of the week. You know what this means. Friday is close by. One more day until the weekend. All right, I got a good show set up for you guys today. I got 5 lead stories. Our first lead story, we're going to talk about the lawyer who was suing Diddy. He says the names in his new cases will shock you. In our second lead story, Diddy's lawyer denies all the new allegations from this new lawyer, including those allegations with minors. He says it is completely untrue. Our third lead story, Amazon is removing Kim Porter's fake book from their store. Our fourth lead story, the author of those fake books from Kim Porter sits down for a tell-all interview and, of course, addresses the issues with Amazon. And in our fifth lead story, there is a girl who is going viral online talking about Diddy's parties, saying the only reason why Diddy is being targeted is because he is a black man. She is saying that a lot of white, rich men, powerful men do this all the time, and Diddy is being targeted. There is a huge discussion going on online. I definitely want to know what you guys think about it. Then when we're done with lead stories, we're going to jump into quick news. We're going to talk about Mr. Prada being arrested, DDG, Drake, John Amos, and Wendy Williams. Then when we're done with quick news, we're going to close out the show as we always do with question of the day and a little bit of sports news. Y'all know what time it is. Turn your TVs, your radio, or your devices up. I'm about to start this show. Let's go. The P. Diddy list includes names linked to the pharmaceutical industry. All right, so for those who watched yesterday's episode, there is a new lawyer out of Texas, Tony Busby. He had a press conference yesterday, and he was talking about Diddy. He was talking about the 3,485 new people who have came forward and the 120 new cases. During that press conference, he was saying a lot about a 9-year-old boy, a pregnant lady. There's another lady who took a drink. For those who missed it, make sure that you catch yesterday's episode 344. During that press conference, he said something else about names and about the pharmaceutical industry and hotels. For some reason, I don't know why this part of the news conference wasn't released yesterday, but they have just released a new clip, which I want to play for you guys, which has some really shocking allegations. Some allegations that I have said for the past couple of weeks would be coming soon. And this is more evidence that there is a lot more names and big names out there. Take a listen to Tony Busby at the press conference for Diddy's accusers.
I may start naming names. Well, that day will come, but it won't be today. But the names that we're going to name are names that will shock you. They will be revealed when that particular individual case is ready to be filed. They already know who they are. But I'm talking about the people that participated. These defendants will not only include individuals, but would also include corporate entities who ultimately profited off of this culture and behavior. I'm looking at banks, pharmaceutical companies, hotels.
All right, let me put you all up on game, all right? So a lot of people are toting this guy, Tony Busby, as a hero and doing all of these things. And I'm not saying yay or nay to that. What I am going to say, though, is just remember and keep in mind that this is a civil suit, not a criminal suit. Tony Busby is not trying to get Diddy put in jail again or arrested again or have new charges. He's trying to get money from Diddy. He's trying to get money from these people's names who will shock you. He's trying to get money from these banks. He's trying to get money from these pharmaceutical companies and hotels. That is what he's doing. So on the other side of people saying that, oh my gosh, he's a hero, people are like, yo, this guy's a shyster and he's just shaking people down. At this press conference, he said, none of these cases has been filed yet, but they will be filed within the next 30 days. What Tony is doing is having a press conference threatening these people, hey, I'm going to put your names out there unless you pay me and you settle before I file the suit. Again, You draw whatever conclusion you want. Is he a scum bucket just looking for money, or is he a hero? That's up to you to decide. My point is that a lot of things that we hear outside of the feds is people looking for money. So the 9-year-old boy, he's looking for money. The pregnant woman, she's looking for money. The girl who said that, oh, you get kicked out of these parties if you don't drink the drink. Again, these are all clips I played yesterday. I'm not going to play them again. You could check them out at episode 344. All these people are looking for money. These are all civil suits. So Tony is having this press conference being like, before I name names, you guys have a chance to settle and pay my clients and pay me. Who knows how much he's taking? That's between him and his clients. Normally, lawyers could take upwards of 40 to 50%, depending if they're taking it pro bono or what have you. So that's that part of it. The sad part is that if these people pay off and settle, we will never hear who these people are. That's the saddest part to me. These big conglomerates have the millions of dollars to pay these people out. When they pay, they will definitely make them sign an NDA, a non-disclosure agreement, saying, if you say anything after this, we'll take all your money back, we'll sue you, you'll be liable, whatever, blah, blah. So this 9-year-old boy, who was 9-year-old at the time, I don't know how old he is now, if he gets paid off by whoever he's accusing, whether it be Diddy, whoever else was in the room, a hotel or whatever, this male who was 9 years old when he's accusing Diddy, he will never be able to tell his story when he accepts his money. Same thing with the pregnant woman. Same thing with all of these other people. That's how civil suits work. Pay me a couple of $1 million, I won't say anything to the public. So I don't know if we'll ever get these names. People like Tony are out here looking for money. I still think some names will leak because the feds do have some information, but it's up in the air. We shall see what is going to happen. I don't know. All right, in our second lead story, Diddy's attorney denies new allegations from over 100 victims, including minors. Diddy's lawyer says Mr. Combs emphatically and categorically denies as false and defamation any claims that he sexually abused anyone, including minors. So in keeping it fair, we're reporting Tony Busby and the other side of the accusers. Let's be fair and say, what Diddy is putting out there and what his lawyers are putting out there, okay? So Diddy's legal team is speaking out and denying the allegations from more than 100 accusers represented by Houston's attorney, Tony Busby. As we reported earlier, 120 victims alleges sexual assault and exploitation by Sean Diddy Combs. During a press conference on Tuesday, Busby said the youngest alleged accuser was 9 years old, with another 15-year-old alleged accuser. Diddy's attorney, Erica Wolf, shared in a statement and said, Mr. Combs' legal team has, I read to you already, they're denying everything. Actually, hold on, this is new. Mr. Combs' legal team has emphasized he cannot address every material allegation in what has become a reckless media circus. Okay, so that's a new statement. Sorry, I thought I read that already. Let's read it again. Diddy's lawyers say, as Mr. Combs' legal team has emphasized, he cannot address every meritless allegation in what has become a reckless media circus. So that's something new. His lawyers are saying, look, you guys can keep coming. Now we're turning this is a reckless media circus. Kind of little bit, taking a page out of Trump's book. This is the media. You guys are coming after me, etc. I don't know what I think about that, because this is not just the media bringing these stories. The media is only just covering the plaintiffs and the accusers. So I don't know if it's the same, if it makes sense, like how Trump complains about the media, because he has some right at some point. But I don't know how I feel about Diddy blaming the media, because they're not making up these stories. They're just reporting stories from lawyers. So I don't know how much I love that. Let's go on to see another claim. His lawyer says, as Mr. Combs' legal team has emphasized, he cannot address every meritless allegation that has come from the media. That said, Mr. Combs empathetically and categorically denies as false and defamatory any claims that he sexually abused anyone, including minors. He looks forward to proving his innocence and vindicating himself in court, where the truth will be established based on evidence, not speculation. So there you have it. Diddy's not wavering. He doesn't want to settle. He wants to take the stand. He's putting out statements from his lawyer. This is all not true. This is all lies. This is a media circus. People are coming after my money. I have done nothing wrong. I am innocent. I am pleading not guilty, and I cannot wait to take the stand and take my side in court. Like, I cannot wait for this trial to start. I'm so mad that it could take almost like a year to start, but it's just crazy. I actually stay tuned for like I think it's our fifth lead story. There's a girl that's saying that used to go to Diddy's parties and says that Diddy is being targeted, and a lot of other rich people have these kind of parties, and Diddy is being targeted. So make sure you stay tuned for that. But let's jump over into our third lead story right now. All right, in our third lead story, Kim Porter's fake tell-all book has been removed from Amazon after outrage from her and Diddy's children. That is a very weird headline. After outrage from her, Kim Porter has passed away. How could there be outrage from her? Anyways, I think the Jasmine brand just made a mistake there. Amazon has removed an alleged Kim Porter tell-all book from its site after Diddy's children, Kim Porter's friend, and Albie Shore called it fake. The book, Kim's Lost Words, claimed Diddy was abusive, but Kim Porter's family said it was all lies. It shot to the top of Amazon's bestseller list before being pulled. The author, Chris Todd, who used a fake name, Jamal Willward, to publish the book, says he got the info from people close to Kim and Diddy, but hasn't commented on the removal as yet. He also stated days ago that he wasn't sure if anything that he wrote was true. So I'm really happy to finally talk about this. I've made several calls to Amazon. I actually got in touch with Amazon's legal team to find out how they were able to keep a book up from supposedly a thumb drive, and these were books and words from Kim Porter when there was no evidence as such. Anybody could have just made that up. Chris Todd didn't produce any facts. He didn't produce anything. All he said was, this is what I got from Kim Porter's friends. And how in the world can Amazon have been selling that? Anyways, like I said, I've been going back with Amazon's legal team, and now I just saw online that Amazon has pulled the book. So I'm really happy to hear about this, because whether it's true or not, you know, Chris Todd given the benefit of the doubt. But my point is that you need to, a company like Amazon, a story big like this, you need to question who is selling your product, right? And if Chris is saying what he's saying is true, all right, well, produce the facts before you start selling the book around the world. So I'm really happy that Amazon has finally done this. But also, Chris has actually sat down for an interview. He's finally broken his silence. I think this interview was done before Amazon has pulled the books. Amazon pulling the books just happened yesterday. So I have a couple of clips from Chris Todd's interview, which I'm not really happy with so far. But anyways, let's jump over to that, and we'll talk about Chris Todd on lead story number 4. All right, in our fourth lead story, author Chris Todd breaks his silence on alleged Kim Porter's secret memoirs. In a recent interview with The Art of Dialogue, author Chris Todd, the man behind the explosive book Kim's Lost Words, A Journey for Justice, Chris shares some candid insights into the reason behind his controversial choices and his shocking allegations within the memoir. Todd, who uses the fake name Jamal T. Millwood for the book, claims that there was a deeper reasoning behind the name and touches on the significance of his decision. Todd made it clear from the jump that this book was more than just a memoir. I was asked to use that name, he said, referring to Jamal T. Crawford, a nod to Tupac Machiavelli persona. The author admitted that there were a lot of moving parts behind the scenes, with multiple people contributing to the project. He emphasizes that using the nickname, which is an African-American name, was a spiritual and strategic move, symbolizing a bigger message in honor of both Tupac and Kim Porter. One of the first questions posed to Todd was why he didn't use his real name. Todd explains, I was torn between using my real name, Chris Todd, or the nickname Jamal T. Millwood. The T stands for Tupac, and the name is a subtle tribute to the rapper's influence. More importantly, it was a collaboration effort and, in a sense, a leap of faith. But the controversy arose when people realized Jamal T. Millwood wasn't directly connected with Tupac. Many question the use of the name, feeling it was misleading, especially since the name hinted at an African-American roots and tied to hip-hop culture. Todd addressed the criticism head on. There are African-Americans behind the book, he confirmed, although he admitted that the names weren't reflective of a single person. It was more of what it represented. To me, it was a collaboration effort. So if you guys are wondering why the article is talking so much about the name and about Tupac, I have no answer for you because like I said, I saw a couple of these clips on Instagram, which I'm going to play here for you, but I went and looked for the interview. The interview is 2 hours long. I tried to watch it before doing this podcast. And for the first 10 or 15, almost 20 minutes, they're talking about the name and about Tupac. And I'm like, what does this have to do with Kim and you lying and saying that you have all of these Kim documents from Kim's book and Kim wanted you to do all of this stuff when I have to watch it. I'll talk about it more tomorrow, but I didn't have time to sit down for 2 hours because I'm not fond of this guy. But there are a couple of clips, like I said, I took from Instagram where Chris was saying that he has a lot of things that he hasn't shown yet. So let me play that clip for you. And there's also another clip where he says, if you want to know some more information, pull out a Ouija board and ask her yourself, which I thought was really disgusting. Like I said, from what I've heard about this guy already, I don't like. And the clips that I've heard from this interview in the first 15 minutes, I really don't like this dude. Anyways, here is one of the clips saying that he has information that he hasn't put out yet. Take a listen.
Critics say that the allegations in the book tarnish Kim Porter's legacy and that she would not want this narrative. What do you believe Kim's true intentions would have been?
I think Kim wanted to bring this book out before, and there are things that I have not shown yet that talk about her regret that she should have just done it.
Why haven't you shown it yet? That's what everybody wants to know. Seeing that you have all of these things, and like I said earlier, okay, let's give you the benefit of the doubt. You have more information. Why aren't you showing it to us? What are you holding it for? You already have a book selling and making money. Like I said, I think he did this interview before Amazon pulled it because Amazon just pulled it yesterday. But what are you holding back? I don't understand what is going on, unless he's maybe trying to get money from Diddy like everybody is. But anyways, I just really don't like this guy. Anyways, here's the clip of him now saying, if you want more answers, pull out a Ouija board and ask him yourself, which is really disrespectful. Take a listen.
That's why there's the doubt there.
Well, again, I didn't write it. Get your Ouija board out and you can ask her.
See, like I said, I didn't write it. If you have I really don't like this guy. And if you didn't write it, why is your name there, or even your fake name, or why are you getting the money for it? You know what I mean? Anyways, man, I hope the feds or the police, somebody starts investigating this guy, and just there's something about him. And for those of you who are not seeing this video on YouTube or on Spotify, just the look on his face and the arrogance, there's just something about him that just rubs me the wrong way, man. But yeah, anyways, I don't like this guy. All right, in our fifth and final lead story, a woman who attended Diddy's party speaks out saying the only reason this is happening to him is because he is black. She says, if you're on the internet making fun of another black man's demise, you're trash. All right, so this is not necessarily just like a black or white thing. She's saying that there's other rich white men that do this, and she's saying that Diddy is only targeted because a lot of white people don't want to see a black rich man successful. So let's not talk about the black on black hate. I'll talk about that in a minute. But there's three clips that I want to play for you. And here, the first clip, she says she's talking about women and about the women that knew what they were getting themselves into would be at Diddy's house, taking pictures on Instagram, taking the flights, going everywhere, and loving this lifestyle. And all of a sudden, because there's an opportunity to get money, all of a sudden they're quote unquote lying and saying that they never really wanted to be there. So take a listen to this first clip.
I feel like you bitches knew what the fuck y'all was getting yourselves into. Y'all had a ball, y'all took pictures, y'all posted, y'all told your friends, y'all felt like y'all was on top of the world, y'all was going on vacations, and then for whatever reason now you just want some money.
All right, so take that part of how you will. This second clip I'm going to play for you, she's talking now about rich lawyers, doctors, and dentists that do these kind of things all the time. Like, this is normal. They're calling Diddy's things freak offs, and she's saying, this is just white rich men's parties. But because it's Diddy, they're calling it freak off. So the first thing is, Diddy is calling these things freak offs. They got that from text messages and stuff, and that's what he called it within his internal crew. Okay, so nobody's making this up. But I also do agree with her that there's a lot of other people that have these kind of parties. But I'll tell you what I strongly disagree with her after. But listen to the clip of what she's saying about how a lot of rich people of different nationalities have these kind of parties. Take a listen.
They're rich people parties. If the feds and whatever else want to call them freak offs, that's on them. Rich white men do this shit all the time. Attorneys, doctors, real estate moguls, finance guys, brokers, all type of rich white men do this shit all the time. But because Diddy is black and of high status, of course, he's not allowed to do the same thing.
Okay, now let me play for you the last part where she's talking about black men talking about other black men. And I'll tell you what I think on the other side. Take a listen.
You niggas are lame. If you're on the internet making fun of a black man's demise, you're trash. You're a loser, especially being another black man.
Now, listen, I'm as black as they come, right? I love my people, 100%. But wrong is wrong. I hate when I hear this kind of thing. If somebody does something illegal, just because they're of your culture doesn't mean you cannot voice your opinion that they did something wrong. I hate hearing these things, whether it's the Asian community or the Indian community, Italian, whatever community you belong to, regardless of your love for your people, when somebody does something that is wrong or illegal, you have to call that out. I hate when people bring up that point. Now, let's talk about the first two, well, actually the second clip, all right? And I really want your guys' opinion on this. What she is saying about these parties and what she's saying that Diddy shouldn't be in jail for having these parties, I think is a huge misconception that people are missing. Nobody is faulting Diddy for having orgies. Nobody is faulting Diddy for being hypersexual. Nobody is faulting Diddy for any of those things. You want to have 100 women around you? Go ahead. That is not illegal. And that's what a lot of, rich other cultures do. Yacht parties, I'm sure it happens all over the world. I agree with her at that point. The problem with Diddy is that when some of these women wanted to leave, allegedly, he wouldn't let them leave. There has been allegations that he drugged them to stay there. There's allegations that some of these people came to the party, like she said in her first clip, I want to come to Diddy's house, go to party. Okay, but that doesn't mean just because you're at Diddy's party, that means that you want to have sexual relations or join into these orgies. And he would trick some of these girls by spiking their drink and giving them drugs without them even knowing. That is what Diddy is being arrested for. People are like, why should he be arrested for being a freak? That's not what he's being arrested for. He was caught with 3 AR-15s, and some people allege that he not only did he just drug people, but he threatened people with these guns, put guns in people's faces, allegedly. They also said that he would videotape and blackmail people and say, if you don't come back, or if you want to leave, whatever, I'm going to show this video to people, to your boyfriend, to your father, to your this. I'm going to put it out online and destroy your character. That is what Diddy is in jail for, not for having freak off. So I completely disagree with everything this girl is saying. But I wanted to put this out here because a lot of people have different things to say. So of all the 3 clips I played for you guys, I want you guys to comment below, send me emails, trent@cfqr600.com, send me DMs. Let me know what you think about this conversation of other classes of people having parties like Diddy's, and if you think that Diddy is being targeted. And again, to be fair, other than the Cassie video of him beating her outside of the elevator, we haven't seen any other evidence of any other of the allegations. The pregnant woman, the 9-year-old boy, all of this stuff has just been alleged and accused, and we haven't seen any evidence. So do you guys think that Diddy is targeted because he's rich, or because he's successful, or because he's a black man? Are they coming after him with all of these lies and all he was doing was just having sex parties? Or do you think that there is going to be some evidence that the feds produce, and we'll see Diddy possibly go to jail for life? Let me know what you guys think. All right, this brings us to quick news. Ring my bell. TikTok personality Mr. Prada arrested in connection with the homicide of a Baton Rouge therapist. 21-year-old popular known TikTok star Mr. Prada has been arrested in connection with a homicide in Baton Rouge for a therapist by the name of Nick Abram. According to Fox 8, sources say Thomas was arrested in Dallas Thursday afternoon, and he will face a judge in Texas for an extradition hearing where a judge will determine whether he should be taken to Louisiana to face charges mentioned in an issued warrant. As previously reported, officials released images of a person of interest in connection to the homicide, and Thomas, who is Mr. Prada, began to trend on social media. Investigators believe Mr. Prada was the last person seen driving Abrams' vehicle. Officials reportedly attempted to stop a stolen car on Monday in Baton Rouge, but the driver allegedly backed into the officer's marked unit and fled the scene. The officer later identified Thomas from a lineup of drivers. Thomas was wanted on charges of aggravated criminal damage to property, resisting arrest, and unauthorized use of a motor vehicle. All right, so this is a breaking, moving news. We don't know the evidence behind this. We don't know what's going on. He was just plucked out of a police lineup. 20-year-old Mr. Prada has been arrested, has been identified. I will keep you guys up to date of what happens to Mr. Prada. All right, in our second quick story, tell me if y'all agree with this. DDG says 9-to-5 jobs should only be used to fund your own business. All right, I really, really hate when people say these things. I'm going to play a little clip and let you know what I think. Take a listen.
A 9-to-5 should only be used to fund your own business. Like, I don't think nobody should ever get a job and say, I'm going to be the 10-year best employee of the year. Like, because if you ever late too many times, they're going to get rid of you. They don't care.
All right, I hate when people say this. Not everybody is cut out to be an entrepreneur. Not everybody is cut out to be a boss. We need workers in this world. If you guys know me, I know there's a lot of new subscribers, but I am an entrepreneur my entire life, build a national company here in Canada. I wrote books about it, etc. I'm as entrepreneur as they come. I've been an entrepreneur since I was a teenager. However, not everybody is cut out for it. And a lot of people have this romantic notion with entrepreneurialism. I'm going to be my own boss. You work harder than working at a job. You're more stressed. Yes, you make more money at times, but you can also lose a lot of money. I've made millions of dollars and I've lost millions of dollars. There is a specific trait in a person that cannot be taught at school to be an entrepreneur. So DDG pushing the fact of, oh man, nobody should have a 9-to-5 job. I hate when people say that. You're pushing people into the wrong direction, and it's just not healthy. Dame Dash has said this before in the Breakfast Club, like, oh, if you're not, every man should be his own boss. That is completely false. There's a lot of very successful, wealthy people that don't own businesses. Again, I'm not saying that you shouldn't. I'm just saying you have to have the personality for it. You have to have the temperament. And not everybody is cut out for that. And I've seen a lot of people leave their jobs, quit their jobs to try to be entrepreneurial, and they lose a lot of money. There is nothing wrong if you are entrepreneurial and say, hey, I'm going to work at this job, save up my money, and then go be an entrepreneur. If that is what you want to do, completely agree with that. But to say nobody should ever invest 10 years into being a good employee because if you're late one day, you could be fired. If you're a valued employee and you show up late, your boss is not going to fire you. And if you are a valued employee and you do have a bad boss, there's a ton of other places that would love to have you. So this is horrible advice and don't take it. All right, in our third quick story, Drake unfollows multiple people on Instagram. LeBron James, Kendrick Lamar, Playboi Carti, Rick Ross, DeMar DeRozan. Shout out to DeMar DeRozan. We just had our interview with him 2 weeks ago, our one-on-one with Trent Out Loud. Sorry, shameless plug. Joe Button and more. However, he still is following Diddy. I don't know why they had to throw that in there. But actually, I think when I got this yesterday, he was still following Diddy. And I just saw before I started doing this podcast that he's unfollowed Diddy now. Couple of ways of looking at this. When the beef was over with him and Kendrick, everybody was like, yo, Drake should just sit down, stop making music. He came out with his 100 gigs. He was on the internet here and there. And a lot of people said he should have taken a break. I said Drake should just do whatever he wants to do. And we don't really know Drake to take breaks. It's just not who he is. He loves being in a studio. He loves being online. Kendrick Lamar likes taking breaks. So I like that he just was continuing to be him. But it wasn't well received, right? 100 gigs really didn't go anywhere. I think he released, 6 songs. It never really charted. So what I'm thinking now is I think Drake is finally decided to take a pause. The article also says that he's in Turks and Caicos. We all know that it's October, so Drake is probably out there celebrating his birthday, October's very own, OVO. And maybe this is Drake doing his cleansing, like, all right, hasn't been the best year for me. Got a lot of hate, got a lot of friends that I thought were friends. I'm going to just disconnect myself from the industry for a while and take a break. So I think that this is what Drake is doing. Again, I'm never going to tell another man how to deal with his situation. And so I was happy when he stayed on the internet, and now I'm happy that he's getting off the internet. He's got to do what he's got to do to feel good. So shout out to Drizzy. All right, in our fourth quick story, daughter of John Amos says that she found out with the rest of the world that her dad passed away 45 days ago. All right, this is just really shocking. I told you guys about this yesterday. The beloved TV dad, John Amos. I played a clip for some of you younger people who might not know who he was on Coming to America, so you can go see that in episode 344. But I found it weird when I spoke about it yesterday, and I was like, super weird that he passed away August 21st, and we're only hearing about it now I guess it was October the 1st at that time. It was yesterday. And it so happens that his daughter found out the same time we did. I did a little bit of research, and apparently her and her brother was the one who broke the story to the world that her father has passed away. And apparently they have an estranged relationship, and her brother was abusive to the father, and there's some family issues going on. A lot of people didn't even know that he passed away. Like I said, his own daughter didn't even know. So there's definitely some family issues. The son is in control of his ashes. And I'm sure as the days go on, we'll hear more about this. This is really sad. Could you just imagine finding out your parent passed away close to 40 days after he passed away? Regardless of whatever is going on, like that's just crazy, man. But anyways, shout out to his daughter. I don't know her name. It doesn't say her name here, but yeah, that is just really crazy, man. My condolences to the family. All right, in our fifth quick story, Wendy Williams speaks on Diddy's arrest, and she says it's about time. The queen of hot topics, Wendy Williams, has finally spoken. In an exclusive conversation with the Daily Mail, the former talk show host spoke on Diddy's arrest for the first time, saying it's about time. She said, "What's been really weird is that I've been told by so many people, Wendy, you called it, including some people from his family who said the same thing." She also expresses concern about the video of Cassie when she was being abused from Diddy. And she said to see the video on TV was horrific. But now when you think about it, how many more times did that happen? So for those of you who don't know, Wendy Williams, she had a TV show and she was the queen of radio, gosh, maybe about 10 or 15 years ago. And she has always said for years that Diddy not necessarily was violent, but that Diddy was homosexual. And she put a lot of these allegations. Apparently, word on the street was that Diddy got her removed from her radio station, her and Charlemagne, back in the day, because she used to talk so much ish about Diddy. That's why everybody has been waiting to hear what Wendy Williams had to say, because she was the first one before Cassie leaking stuff about Diddy. Again, not about the sexual abuse and the minors and all of that stuff, but saying that Diddy was wild and has these sex parties and that he's homosexual. Because don't forget, 15 years ago, that's a wild accusation to say about a rapper. But Wendy's been saying it for years, so she's finally commented on it. All right, in our sixth quick story, just to close out all of this Diddy stuff for today, there are hotlines and ads and support services launched to sue Diddy. Listen to this. There is a campaign going out saying, "Are you a victim of Diddy's abuse? Have you been hurt by P. Diddy? Don't miss your chance for justice and compensation." Like, parts of me want to say this is horrible because the compensation part is lawyers, like I told you earlier, just trying to get money. But at least they put the justice part of it in there. And hopefully any people that call in for this hotline, I heard apparently academics on his stream the other day, like, called the hotline and it's like, "Hey, you have reached the Diddy hotline. Have you been touched or abused by Diddy?" Just crazy, man. In response to recent allegations against Sean Diddy Combs, hotlines, TV commercials, and digital ads has been established to sue Diddy. Like I said, man, this is really not aimed at the criminal cases. This is aimed at people looking to sue and trying to get money from Diddy. Woo! It's going to be a wild end to 2024, let me tell you. All right, this brings us to question of the day. Which male rapper do you think is the sexiest? Like I said at the top, I have done a million times like question of the day of like the sexiest women or the prettiest women, and people are like, "Hey, how come you can't do the sexiest man or the most handsomest man?" And I actually have an even amount of male and female listeners, so I'm doing this for the ladies out there. All right, I'm confident in my manhood. I could say if a guy is good looking or not. You're not gonna catch me saying if a male is sexy, but I'll definitely say if he's good looking. All right. So Shonda82 said Nas. Okay. Sure. I think Nas is a good looking gentleman. Creative Beauty said Tupac. You hear that all the time. You know, women love Tupac. Kendra said Method Man. We definitely know that. Definitely Method Man gets a lot of love from the ladies out here. Another person put Method Man. Somebody else put Method Man again. Geez, Method Man's getting a lot of love out here. All right, here we go. Universal Danielle said Big Daddy Kane. He's old school. That's old school. I wonder how old Universal Danielle is. Let me see. Of course, I was waiting for this. Somebody put Kendra825 said LL Cool J. Whoever says no, you know you lying. You guys know that LL stands for Ladies Love, right? His name is Ladies Love Cool James, LL Cool J. Shout out to LL. Another person put Tupac. Cold World 82 put J. Cole. Well, if your scream name is Cold World, then I'm not surprised that you would think J. Cole is one of the sexiest rappers alive. Marcy Martin said, "The game so sexy to me until he starts talking, sir. So that I can enjoy this dream." Wow, that's hilarious. Another person put Tupac. Nas. Yo, I'm really surprised of all this Nas. I've never known Nas to be a sex symbol. Wow. All right. Somebody put the game again. Caribbean Gal 83 put Outcast, Andre 3000. Well, I could see why girls probably like him. You know, he's very confident and he's very fashionable. I've just never heard of Andre 3000 being referred to as a sex symbol, but hey, I'm going to take your guys' word for it. Somebody put Little Baby. Another person here put Big Sean. Somebody put Jay-Z. Jay-Z, a sex symbol now? Please, that's just because Jay-Z's a billionaire, man. TC Ball 82 said Kendrick Lamar. All right, shout out to Kendrick. Hey, somebody put Nelly, Jim Jones, ASAP Rocky. All right, hey, man. I guess Method Man is the clear winner. Shout out to Meth. Meth, you know, Meth is staying in the gym, man. You guys see him, watch him on Power. By the way, Power final episode, season finale is tomorrow, Friday. I cannot wait for that. I'm definitely waiting up till midnight to watch that live. Anyways, shout out to all the male rappers out there making the sexiest list on the Toronto Loud podcast. All right, this brings us to sports news. All right, there are only 2 undefeated teams left. Take a guess which teams they are. Minnesota Vikings and my Kansas City Chiefs. I don't know what the stats are on this, but if I would have to guess, I would think that this is probably one of the lowest totals of undefeated teams only in 4 weeks. Normally you get to week 8, 9, or 10, and there's only 2 teams left. This NFL season is a little bit weird to me. I don't know what's going on. I feel like teams that shouldn't be losing are losing. It feels weird to me. So I'm not shocked that there's only 2 teams left, but at the same time, I'm not surprised because Kansas City Chiefs are going to win back to back to back. We're winning Super Bowl for the 3rd time in a row this year. I don't know if we're going to stay undefeated the whole year. I actually don't want to stay undefeated the whole year because it takes your mind off of the goal. You remember when that happened to New England Patriots? They went undefeated in the playoffs, and they lost in the Super Bowl. That's embarrassing. That also happened to in basketball to Warriors. They didn't go undefeated, but they had the best NBA record of all times. They beat Jordan's 72-10. They went 73-9, and they ended up losing in the finals. So the goal is a championship. The goal is not undefeated or the best NBA record. Stick to the mission at hand. Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, even Taylor Swift, because I know you're rooting for your boy. Stay concentrated on the mission. Yes, we definitely want to have a winning series. We want a winning season. We want home field advantage. But don't get caught up in this undefeatedness. We need Super Bowl. We need to beat Tom Brady's back-to-back record and go for a 3-peat and be up there with Michael Jordan. All right. Thank you so much, guys, for hanging with me on this Thursday morning. I just want to remind you guys of all the ways to stay up with the Toronto Loud podcast. If you're used to watching this show on YouTube or listening to it on podcast platforms, please try to check me out on CFQR 600 from 11 to 12 Monday to Friday. We do play the Toronto Loud podcast, but we mix it in with 90s and 2000s hip-hop and R&B. I selected music, so you know it's going to be dope. Yes, try to check me out. It's a great hour. It's a great way to kind of just break up your day and get your entertainment and viral news. Vice versa, if you're used to listening to the show on CFQR 600 and you cannot always catch the show from 11 to 12, don't worry, we got you. Every episode is uploaded to YouTube or podcast platforms. Just go to your desired site, type in Trent Out Loud, the show will pop up. Don't forget to hit the follow and subscribe button so that you can be notified every time we upload a new show. If you're like me and you like to watch your podcast, we have YouTube, but Spotify also supports video, so you can watch video on Spotify or YouTube. Lastly, you can check me out on any social platform at Trent Out Loud. Make sure you follow the production company, Exo City Media, on Instagram. And lastly, for those listeners on CFQR, make sure you stay tuned for the midday mix with my boy Don Smooth from 12 to 1. You know, he's always dropping the hits after I drop the hits, man. We make a dynamic duo, my boy Don Smooth. For the rest of you, I will see you guys tomorrow. It's Friday. Well, tomorrow, it's Friday. Last day of the week. The weekend's here, man. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It's your boy, Turn Out Loud. Peace.